Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So my two toddlers are currently asleep, so I thought I would take the opportunity to tick one of the topics off my list. And this one is actually about your arms and your legs falling asleep and going dead and feeling numb. I went through a strange period of having this every single night, and it went on for about a month. This must have been almost 18 months ago. And I would go to sleep, and then at some point in the night I'd wake up, and we've all had that situation where we've woken up to a dead arm because we've been sleeping on it funny, or it's too raised or whatever. But it wasn't that. It was like both my legs would be numb, or both my arms, or all four limbs. I remember waking up the one night and it was all four limbs. Like, felt like I couldn't move them. And it wasn't like sleep paralysis or anything like that. I was very much awake, but my limbs were so heavy and it would take a while for them to come back around. And I was terrified because at this point in my life, I was also having a whole host of other symptoms, mostly like neurological based. So I was having twitching and myoclonic jerks and hypnic jerks and like so much. I won't bore you with it. But because of that, I was absolutely convinced that I had some kind of neurological disease going on, or a brain tumor or something. And in amongst that, I had an MRI, which to my surprise came back negative for brain tumor and MS. But it was early. It was really like terrifying. I was dreading going to bed because of this thing that kept happening to me, this numbness. It was horrible, and it started to get worse. So it started happening during the day. So I'd be sat down, and my legs would go numb, and I would feel it happening. It would kind of tingle beforehand, then they would go fully numb. And I went through everything. I was Googling, thinking, have I got a circulation problem? Am I deficient in something? Is it a neurological problem? And of course, that's what us health anxiety sufferers do. We keep searching because we want answers. And every test that I had came back totally fine. And one day it just went away. I think I started to worry about something else, and I didn't give it my attention anymore. But I know for a fact that I made it worse by mentally focusing on it so much. I think the first couple of times it did happen, but I think I massively prolonged it, which is something that a lot of us health anxiety sufferers do, because when we have a symptom, the worst thing we can do is to focus on it. Now, obviously that's really difficult because we're worried, but when we focus on it, we're drawing so much emotional but physical tension to that area that it will prolong, it will feel worse, it will feel more intense, and then it's kind of like is it a psychosomatic thing? But yeah, that numbness was really strange, and it really scared me, because to feel that parts of your body have lost life, it's really terrifying. And I was in a real bad way about it. I even took myself to A&E the one time when my legs were numb, because I was convinced that I was like, maybe I'm having a stroke, and I had a scan on my brain and everything was fine, and they were like, look, I really think that it's anxiety that's doing this to you. And back then I was like, no way can anxiety make all of my limbs go numb, like surely not. But then I started to read into anxiety and numbness, and it just, something clicked, and I was like, this is actually way more common than I thought. A lot of us talk about tingling with our anxiety, but the tingling can progress to full numbness when we're highly stressed and anxious. So if you're having numbness in your limbs, or maybe even your face, I mean, I know people have said to me before that their whole face goes numb. It's generally the face and the limbs, but it is normal with anxiety. And I know it's really hard to believe, because when it's happening to you and it feels so terrifying and so alien and so strange, you're thinking, surely not. Like, can anxiety really do this to me? But I know from experience that anxiety can give you some crazy symptoms, even the ones that aren't listed on you know, the NHS page or the Mayo Clinic page or whatever, when you look at the symptoms of anxiety, there's generally about 10. But I really believe that anxiety can cause malfunctions in every area, and that can manifest as a multitude of symptoms that are all equally terrifying. So just know that if this is happening to you, you know, always see a doctor, of course, but it is common with anxiety. And if you're somebody who suffers from anxiety, and especially if you're going through a bit of a rough patch, or you've been stressed, or you've had, you know, a lack of sleep, you know, these things unfortunately will start to happen to us. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and share that, because I've talked a lot about tingling, but I feel that I've never really elaborated on my experience with numbness, which is not pleasant. To finish off this video, I just want to say that I have started a Patreon. The Patreon is going to be the little home of health anxiety management. So if you're interested in learning how to manage your health anxiety, and you want all the tips, tricks, you want to be able to message me directly, then you can join my membership. I will put the link of my Patreon in the description of this video. And yeah, I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.